We're excited today to talk about our theme of being safe, sustainable, and strategic for the long run at our 78th annual meeting. Now this year, we changed up the presentation format. Instead of hearing a long-run presentation from your CEO, we'll have 4 members of the Dairyland executive team come up and share their strategic insights. So you'll hear first from John Carr, then Ben Porath, followed by Phil Moilien, and then Rob Palmberg. Dairyland employees are dedicated to providing our members with energy for the long run. They're committed to implementing business strategies, embracing new technologies, diversifying energy resources, and ensuring safe, sound, reliable operations. Our priorities for the membership and for Dairyland for 2019 include the Wholesale Rate Study, the Strategic Decision Excellence Initiative, and the development of our Sustainable Generation Plan. The Wholesale Rate Study is a joint effort with the board and the cooperative managers. The purpose is to assess and modernize Dairyland's wholesale rate structure. The goal is to develop a rate design that is modern and competitive and that fosters success for all entities for the long run. Strategic decision excellence will improve the quality and efficiency of Dairyland's business decisions. It includes evaluation of the processes that we use to make major capital, major operational, and major strategic decisions. It aligns with our long-term strategic plan. Energy for the long run requires the right work with the right people done well. The goal of Dairyland's Sustainable Generation Plan is to provide the framework for future strategic positioning and our continued path to energy diversification. The Sustainable Generation Plan is that heavy lift that I've referenced in past annual meetings. It's the next chapter in what you've come to know as the Dairyland Preferred Plan for Energy Resource Diversification. Dairyland's focus is on reducing economy-wide carbon emissions, and our initiatives to foster beneficial electrification combined with our progressive investments in solar and wind bear witness to this evolution of energy diversification. Our glide path to the future is based on holistic, informed, sustainable policy that ensures prudent and reliable asset mix now and in the future. I like to reemphasize that our approach is sound, prudent, and measured, regardless of regulation, legislation, or global politics. We depend on our definition of sustainability to guide this balanced approach. Like the 4 legs of a chair, we balance economic, environmental, social, and technical aspects of all future strategies. Your Dairyland team monitors the rapid increase in consumer-owned generation. Throughout the Dairyland system, there are over 1,600 consumer-owned installations. We call these distributed energy resources. The vast majority of these are solar, and the trend line continues to be very steep. While solar and wind energy are valuable resources, a diversified generation mix is essential for our obligation to provide reliability. I view reliability as our promise to act in the public interest. Reliability is our promise to provide consumers with light, heat, and power, especially in situations where a lapse in reliability can be life-threatening. During extreme weather conditions like we experienced in the polar vortex, the need for reliability is accentuated. On January 29th, temperatures dipped to below negative 30 degrees throughout our service territory and the region. The visual on screen tells the story. Wind resources plummeted by 80% because wind resources are not designed to operate in such extreme weather conditions. The dramatic drop in wind occurred simultaneously with the rise in demand, and temperatures were life-threateningly cold. In addition, there were natural gas constraints in parts of the region. But our unsung heroes in our power plants diligently ensured that our base load resources were available to ensure grid reliability. Prudent diversification of energy resources ensures we can deliver on our public promise of safe, reliable, and affordable energy for the long run. Growth is also essential when planning for the long run. A key accomplishment in 2018 was the integration of Joe Carroll's load acquisition from Alliant. The Dairyland system grew by 8% due to this historic growth. And Dairyland will see an additional 9% growth in 2025 due to the integration of the Southern Minnesota Energy Cooperative load acquisition. The efforts of Peoples, Freeborn Mauer, and My Energy cooperatives will provide benefit to the entire Dairyland system for decades to come. This is just one example of the value of strategic growth. But business isn't just all about numbers. We're guided by our cooperative principles, as we witnessed here this morning. We pride ourselves in being good neighbors with the communities where we do business. In April, Dairyland and Jump River Electric Cooperative received the Large Business Year of the Award from the Ladysmith Chamber of Commerce. Dairyland's Brad Foss and Jump River's Jim Anderson accepted the award from the Rusk County Economic Development. The award recognizes our joint investment in the community and our joint efforts to serve residents in the region. Building cooperative and industry relationships is also part of being safe, sustainable, and strategic. Many of our beneficial electrification successes have grown from such partnerships. To be sustainable, we embrace change. Change emerges from the events all around us, and today's research and development will usher in the new normal for future decades. As we diversify, safety and reliability remain at our forefront. We continue our diligence through our commitment to safety, to sound operations, to financial stability, to cybersecurity, and to essential modernization. Dairyland ensures availability and reliability of its generation and transmission facilities, and this is accomplished and maintained by the dedication and the incredibly skilled workforce, many of whom are sitting in the back and over here. I call them all heroes because they are. And John Carr will discuss our generation operations and the people behind providing power to the members. John?
Thanks, Barb, and good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to talk to you about our generation facilities, and more importantly, the people who make them valuable resources. All accomplishments have one thing in common: the right people getting the job done well. Reliable operations center around one major component, and that's reliable people. Dairyland's power plants are there when our members need them most. That was made very clear this winter during the polar vortex. The polar vortex produced life-threatening cold temperatures in Dairyland's service territory. The need for electricity during such extreme conditions is critical to keep our homes and businesses safe and comfortable. As the saying goes, failure is not an option. Because of the reliability of the people who operate, maintain, and support our power plant facilities, we were able to generate the power and electricity needed to keep the homes warm and the lights on. The same performance can be relied upon during the opposite temperature extremes, the dog days of summer. Plant performance when it is needed most is a testament to the preparation and dedication of the Dairyland employees. Because of the attention paid to winterization and regular maintenance, our plants perform very well. Employees took extra measures to assure any building openings were properly sealed, piping and other equipment exposed to the elements was wrapped with insulation to ward off problems that can become reliability issues when demand for power is at its highest. The preparation was exceptional, and to celebrate, we grilled out, of course, when the weather was much, much nicer. Speaking of major accomplishments today and excellent work, the decommissioning of our retired Alma station has been completed safely, on time, and on budget. We reached a major milestone last October when the 700-foot tall stack was safely demolished. In addition to the Dairyland team, we contracted with CDI Corporation and American D&D for the demolition work. The entire process was finalized to exacting safety and engineering standards, and this was evident in the successful result, and it's a credit to the great teams involved. This video never gets old, so let's watch it one more time.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Dairyland's Lackbar nuclear decommissioning work is being led by Energy Solutions, a nuclear decommissioning services contractor. The nuclear decommissioning project is also in the final stages of wrapping up this summer. The safe and successful decommissioning of Lackbar will mark the passing of another strategic milestone for Dairyland Power Cooperative. In closing, I want to extend a big thank you to the employees. It is your efforts that ensure our facilities operate safely and reliably in meeting our members' needs. Thank you very much. I would now like to introduce Ben Porath, who leads our Power Delivery Group. Ben, welcome.
Good morning. The Power Delivery Team's role at Dairyland is to safely, affordably, and reliably deliver power to the people. Sound transmission strategy, safe practices, and reliability are the backbone of how we meet these essential obligations. Regional transmission projects such as CapEx 2020, Badger Coulee, and the proposed Cardinal Hickory Creek line are examples of strategic opportunities that improve reliability, support growth, and add value for our members. Dairyland is a 9% owner of the proposed Cardinal Hickory Creek line, along with majority owners ATC and ITC. The line, which is currently in the regulatory and public comment process, runs from Dubuque to Middleton. As Dairyland and other utilities continue to invest in renewable energy, the ability to reliably transport green energy is of increasing importance. Cardinal Hickory Creek is a regional multi-value project, part of a portfolio of projects planned and approved by the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, or MISO, with costs shared across many states. Wisconsin consumers will pay a fraction of the total cost for a project expected to more than pay for itself while safely and reliably connecting renewable energy to homes and businesses. It will serve your membership and the region for many generations. In addition to big picture strategy, Dairyland's power delivery team focuses on smart, system-wide initiatives. The mobile radio replacement project is scheduled to be online by the end of the year. Your cooperative crews and Dairyland staff utilize the mobile radio system when communicating in the field. However, the existing two-way system, which was put in place in the mid-1990s, is limited by out-of-date technology. The new system will allow direct communication between Dairyland, members, and field crews. It will utilize 67 towers versus the current 27 towers, creating better coverage for crews throughout our 44,500 square mile service territory. Safety is emphasized during every step of this process. Security briefings with Dairyland staff and contractors are done before each job. Together, we are finding smart new ways to be safe, strategic, reliable, and sustainable. Dairyland has collaborated with many of you and the industry on the Energy Management Circuit Breaker project. This project recently won the Electric Power Research Institute, or EPRI's, Technology Transfer Award. On screen, you see our supervisor, load management, Mitch Vanden Langerberg, with Barb and the EPRI Award. This R&D project led to the installation of more than 250 circuit breakers at over 60 sites in 19 states. These breakers support demand response, distributed energy resource interconnection, think solar and wind, energy automation, and electric vehicle charging. Over the next decade, Dairyland teams will be working on plans to enable rural broadband service and high-speed connectivity through installation of fiber optic communications on our transmission lines. We are excited to be moving forward with this grid modernization initiative that will have a direct, positive impact on member communities. As everyone knows, infrastructure needs to be maintained for safety and reliability. Each year, Dairyland crews rebuild, construct, and upgrade 50 miles of 69 kV transmission line to support our members. Each mile takes about 2 weeks to complete, with roughly 17 poles per mile. During the past 6 years, more than 275 miles of line have been replaced, or approximately 8% of the total Dairyland transmission system. Dairyland's most powerful asset is its employees. From a power delivery standpoint, this is evident in everyday work and high-profile system events like Winter Storm Wesley. Wesley, a late-season ice storm, hit in April. It resulted in damage to over 140 transmission structures and outage 25 distribution substations. Wesley brought its worst, but Dairyland staff and member crews triumphed with their best efforts through the Restoration of Power in Emergency program, or what we call ROPE. Alongside your crews, Dairyland crews worked many long, difficult hours, and they worked them safely. It is storm events like these that remind us of what we've always known to be true. Having highly skilled and hardworking professionals ready, willing, and able to do the job safely is vital for our rural communities. As Barb said, it's the right work, the right people, done well. Thank you. And now we'll hear from Phil Moilien.
Earlier, I provided an overview of Dairyland's 2018 financial position and performance. Now I'd like to briefly share key finance and information technology projects, specifically how and why they benefit you, our members. The Wholesale Rate Study is a priority initiative for 2019. Dairyland staff are working closely with the Wholesale Rate Study Task Force, comprised of board members and cooperative managers, on an in-depth review of our rate structure. Why are we doing this? It has been 10 years since the last rate study, and of course, much has changed since then. Markets are changing, and the needs and wants of our members are changing. A comprehensive rate study is essential due diligence for long-term mutual success. Our obligation to our members includes rates that are stable, cost competitive, and representative of the current financial climate. We met that pledge together this year by limiting the Class A average wholesale rate to 1%. The overall goal of the wholesale rate study is to develop a rate design that accurately reflects Dairyland's cost drivers, is flexible, competitive, takes current and future needs into consideration, and maintains and enhances our cooperative purpose and unity. Through this cooperative effort, we will come to decisions together that benefit you and your members. Another initiative that will yield important benefits to members is the accounting modernization effort. Dairyland's information technology and accounting teams are collaborating on a multi-year program to complete implementation of a comprehensive accounting system. It can be easier to look at brick and mortar infrastructure and see that updates are needed. Systems and processes don't necessarily show their wear so outwardly, even when those ways are less effective, less efficient, and less secure. The Accounting System Modernization Program will address those risks. It will do so by maximizing automation and controls while building in flexibility and modern functionality. That is the why. This program is all about our commitment to being safe, strategic, sustainable, and compliant. Essentially, everything we accomplish is done hand in glove with information technology. Information technology protects us with cybersecurity measures and strategic partnerships. They support every element of our processes and are the power behind new software programs like safety management and fuels management that reduce workload and costs, creating efficiency while strengthening our communications. Dairyland's information technology and human resources teams have launched the Human Capital Management System. The new online tools have already streamlined our benefit enrollment and will improve our talent acquisition process. Two high-profile projects are proposed: the Nemadji Trail Energy Center and the Cardinal Hickory Creek transmission line. The Dairyland team is diligent in overseeing our $311 million investment in Nemadji Trail through our 50-50 partnership with Elite, Minnesota Power. If approved, the project will support renewable energy and be an economic engine for the Superior region. By virtue of its status as a multi-value project, Cardinal Hickory Creek will also help reduce costs to our members due to the return on investment. Last, I would like to acknowledge again the importance of a 2018 accomplishment, the Wholesale Power Contract Renewal. It is the foundation of our cooperative business commitment to each other. It is also a critical component of credit strength. I appreciate working with all of you and look forward to achieving this year's key accomplishments together. Thank you. Now I will turn the microphone over to Rob.
I'll start with the most important topic on any agenda: safety. Everyone home safe every day represents Dairyland's commitment to safe practices both in and out of the workplace. The safety stats shown here illustrate how our incidents continue an overall downward trend. Lowering safety targets as goals are met is an important safety culture milestone. This year, Dairyland has revised our safety goals to benchmark a new level of achievement towards our aim at 0 incidents. We know safety is a job from which we can never take a day off. Vigilance and continuous improvement are important elements of our safety culture journey. Continuous improvement can take many forms: talking and listening, training, better job briefings, and reporting near-miss incidents, or what we call sometimes good catches, to help prevent potential problems. Our tagline for today's meeting, Energy for the Long Run, is what Dairyland's Sustainable Generation Plan is all about. Our goal is to outline resource planning for the upcoming decade and beyond. Within the past 2 months alone, Dairyland has announced additions of 149 megawatts of solar and 52 megawatts of wind. This spring, Dairyland finalized a purchase power agreement with Ranger Power for 149 megawatts of the Badger State Solar Project. This is proposed in Jefferson County, Wisconsin. We also plan a pollinator habitat project for the site. If approved, construction of Badger State Solar is anticipated to begin in 2020, with commercial operation in 2022. Just a couple weeks ago, we announced the 52-megawatt Tatanka Ridge Wind Project with Avangrid Renewables. Tatanka is proposed in Dual County, South Dakota. We have partnered with Avangrid twice previously on wind energy projects, with the Barton and Winnebago wind farms both located in Iowa. Together, Badger State Solar and Tatanka Ridge Wind will generate enough renewable energy to power over 35,000 homes on our system. We are excited to collaborate with Ranger Power and Avangrid on the solar and wind facilities, which will benefit members, local communities, and the environment. Nearly all of our 18 solar sites located in your service territories are online for an additional total of 25 megawatts. Even better, many of you multiplied your local renewable energy benefit by piggybacking onto our utility scale sites with your own cooperative community solar gardens. We also need to plan for a reliable alternative that can step up to the plate when the sun isn't shining and the wind isn't blowing. The 625 megawatt Nemadji Trail Energy Center will fill that role. Dairyland definitely walks the talk on renewables, and therefore we need the renewable enabling Nemadji Trail for system reliability. We are projecting 48% growth in renewables by 2027. The wind, solar, and natural gas additions shown are planned in that time frame. Nemadji Trail, a combined cycle natural gas plant, will support those renewable energy investments by being flexible and responsive. It will be able to ramp up quickly to generate electricity, no matter what the weather. It will serve as the power behind the power, supporting renewable energy investments into the future. Last fall, the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission authorized our partner, Elite's Minnesota Power, to move forward with the facility following a public hearing and deliberation process. The regulatory process began here in Wisconsin shortly after the new year, with the filing of the Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity, or sometimes referred to as the CPCN. The review process includes opportunities for public comment as anticipated to last approximately 1 year. If approved, Nemadji Trail will go in service in 2025. Again, my personal thanks for Avangrid, Ranger Power, and Minnesota Power for being here to celebrate with us today and being valued partners. Thank you, and now I'll turn it over to Barb for a few closing words.
Thanks, Rob. You've heard from 4 members of the executive team about safe, sustainable, and strategic being part of our DNA here at Dairyland Power. Being safe, sustainable, and strategic is exemplified by the members' unanimous agreement to extend the wholesale power contract in 2018. Being safe, sustainable, and strategic is the reason we embarked on the Sustainable Generation Plan and in modernizing our wholesale rate design. Being safe, sustainable, and strategic requires doing the right work with the right people and doing it well. As cooperatives, we know the power of grassroots coming together for a common purpose, and we know the importance of putting safety first, because without safety, nothing else matters. We know the power of planning strategically so we can keep our public promise of reliability in the long term. According to an African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I've learned from working with the distribution cooperatives and the cooperative family that we will go far because we are together for the long run. Thank you for your kind attention this morning from me and the executive team.